Before progressing to step 3, just make sure that your dog's got a really good understanding of steps 1 and 2 first. The goal of step 3 is to use the bucket game for physical examinations and grooming, whilst allowing the dog choice and control over participation. We also want to build a positive bank account for physical examination and grooming, and we want to use it to become experts at listening to our dog's whispers, so hopefully they should never feel the need to shout. Step 3 is quite a big one, so I've broken it down into 4 parts. So we've got hand movements and touching, physical examination, grooming, and then position changes to allow access all areas. Training sessions of around a couple of minutes and then a play and then another couple of minutes work really well. Practice in a quiet environment, and if the dog looks away from the bucket twice, make it easier. To earn reinforcement for both this step and all the other steps that we do from here, we need to maintain all the criteria that we set in step 2. So that was focus on the bucket, and it's worth mentioning here that we're looking at focus in the direction of the bucket, not direct eye contact. Keep all 4 feet on the floor, be quiet and remain within 1 to 2 feet away from the bucket. The only thing that's going to change from now on is what we as handlers are doing. So in this particular step, we're gradually introducing hand movements within the dog's field of vision. So I'm just doing it for looking, and then I'll put some hand movements in. Yep. Then on your first hand movement, like this dog does, you'll see that they probably will look to see what you're doing. Just freeze and wait for them to look back at the bucket, and when they do, use your marker word again. The purpose of this step is just to teach the dog to ignore your hand movements and to reinforce the fact that if they keep looking at the bucket, that's what's going to earn the food. Starting with your hand a little bit further away might just make it a bit easier, and then you can gradually get closer. You'll find some dogs will only need a couple of sessions at this stage, while others will need more. As always, just allow your dog to dictate the pace. Next, we're going to start adding touch, and it tends to be better to add touch in an area where your dog is most comfortable, usually on their back. If we touch them and they look away, then that means we need to stop. Wait for them to re-engage with the bucket. Touch them again, and if they stay engaged with the bucket, then use your marker word and give them a treat. Continue at this stage in short frequent sessions until you're able to touch all parts of the dog's body. Don't forget, if the dog looks away twice, then you need to make it easier for them. This dog has recently had ear treatment, and he's not keen when I take hold of his ear between my thumb and my finger, but he's quite happy when I touch it with the back of my hand. If your dog isn't keen on you touching a particular area, don't spend too long on it like I do in this session. It's much better to do a couple of repetitions in an area that they're uncomfortable with, followed by, say, 5 repetitions in an area that they are comfortable with. The stretch and change in position tells me it's time to move on, so I go back to touching an area I know he's relaxed with. Yep. Once you can touch the dog on any part of the body for a few seconds and they remain focused on the bucket 8 out of 10 times, you're ready to progress to step 3B.